policy that you saw? What questions might you have?
Some interesting ideas there for sure. We do see other countries where the government invests, so MRDC and PNG, for example, is an owner in PNG LNG. What I like about the alignment is that the government then is fully motivated to ensure the project happens. And what we know now with NOGA, the Northern Endeavour decommissioning being run by DISA, is that they are shocked with the cost control problems they've had, and they're shocked with how difficult it is to get the approvals to do the decommissioning from their own regulatory bodies. And so, you know, by having the government as a joint venture partner, even if it's a silent partner, you're all aligned to see the same outcome and to bring that gas to market at the lowest cost, and then the government can make decisions on what it's doing with its share. So that's a big step forward from where we are today in terms of the misalignment we're seeing with DISA and DQ around this policy.
Now, everyone always talks about Norway too, but this is a decision that was made a very, very long time ago, in very different circumstances, and very wise, obviously, at the time, but the government is all in on gas in the North Sea in Norway. So what do you think of the plan you just heard, the sketch that you saw?
Well, first of all, I think it's always great to hear a politician who actually supports the industry. That's not every day, and that they are truly committed to do something different. I think we should listen for that. The other thing I noted was that they weren't necessarily completed with their design of the policy, and they were genuinely interested in more consultation with the industry. So those two things I think makes a lot of sense and was very, very nice to hear actually. I think it is a bit challenging maybe at this time in the life cycle to maybe introduce a completely new regime, but it depends how you do it. That silent partner approach may be workable, but remember, you have to invest billions, maybe 10 to 15 years before you see the revenue. So it takes a significant commitment from a government that's already have budget challenges to make this happen before you see the benefits. It's easy to talk about the benefits for Norway, who established this in the 70s, but right now, I'm not sure, to be honest, whether this is a smart idea or not, but I appreciate the effort to find a way to support the industry and get more resources developed in Australia.
Again, Chris, I'm from Victoria, so it's probably not the worst energy policy I've seen in the last decade. Bit of a list there. Look, we're not opposed to government making strategic investments where there's gaps that need to be filled, or if you need to move something forward where the market can't do it. I mean, but their track record at the moment, Snowy 2.0, doesn't bode well for government participation in projects, shall we say. So I think the governance model, which I think is probably something that needs more work, I think is probably the most critical thing here. But not violently opposed to it. You can see how it could work possibly.
Can I just note on Snowy 2.0, if it does end up at $42 billion by CSIRO's own numbers, that's 2 nuclear power plants, big ones.
I'm philosophically not. It's nice to see a politician interested in pushing forward oil and gas. I'm not philosophically opposed. I worked PNG a long time ago. I think, from memory there, the government had a 22.5% back-in right at development, so they didn't take the exploration risk if they could opt into the development back then. So if someone's offering to take 30% and the exploration risk, well, that's a bonus for us, I guess. And we do drill a lot of dry holes as an industry. The one thing, when we were asked for, a group of us met Senator Hanson and her team a month or two ago, and my only advice was, if you're going to make the decision to opt in or opt out, make it crisp and make it quick, and don't leave us hanging so we're not sure how it's all going to work. If you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're out, but make it and move on. So obviously it'll need some tidying up and some thought, but philosophically I don't have a problem with it.
But you did consult, they came and saw you?
Yeah, it was a Teams meeting. There was maybe 15 or 20 of us on the call, and they bounced around. She's got an ex-Woodside guy advising her on her team, and I can't remember his name, I should, but But I think that was really good because he'd been inside Woodside. He understood perfectly how PRRT worked and how tax worked and the sort of risks. By being inside, he sort of understands the risks. So I think that's great. If we've got anyone in politics that kind of understands the risk we take, that's a big bonus because I think generally politicians don't.
Yeah, imagine the government employing an engineer to talk about this sort of stuff.
You know, actually, I think he might have been an accountant, so that's worse. But at least it's someone on the inside, which I think is useful.
Yeah, I'm pretty aligned with Jane that, you know, I think the concept of government having alignment with industry would be a nice change of pace. I do fear that there's maybe not a complete understanding of how much capital is involved in bringing these projects, how long it takes, and also this misconception that it's a massive windfall, you know, 9 times out of 10, and it's simply not that. So I think there might be a few nasty surprises along the way.
All right, so there's 5 minutes to go. We have 5 experts. The government has said it's going to consult a little bit more on the policy that it's put out. So could I just get from you what would be the things that each of you would be saying to the government needs to be